9 on. Good.
Yes, welcome everyone to the Thursday call, Ask a Holistic Cancer Coach. Today is March 21st, and we have some guests on and we have some coaches on, so hopefully get your questions lined up. If you have questions while we're talking, go ahead and put them in the chat. If you're not on the phone, if you're on the computer, you can put them in the chat and we'll address those questions. Also, too, nothing we say here is medical advice. If you need medical advice, please seek the consult of your physician. We speak about healing and healing practices here. And hopefully we'll get some questions on and we'll have a great call. So let me go ahead and one last thing. If there's noise in the background of your phone or computer, I will mute you. It's easy to get unmuted. For people on the phone, all you have to do is hit *6, and that will unmute you. And *6 will also mute you back. And for the computer, just go ahead and hit the little microphone icon in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. It looks like a microphone. It says mute by it, and it's blue when it's hot. And when it has a little streak through it, it means, and it's red, it means that you are muted. So with that, I will open up the call. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? Maybe it's some of the cancer coaches, anything go on? We've got some guests on tonight, so go ahead and ask away.
I think I scared Zach away.
No, Zach is here.
Craig was on.
Yeah, Craig might drop back in.
Okay.
Oh, we have a guest whose number I haven't seen before. They're logged in as ADP employee. If they'd like to share what brought them here tonight and any questions they may have, we could start off with that. That's a 973-868-4230.
Hi, my name's Jane.
Hi, Jane.
I am calling in because I heard about your call, and I know of, I don't have cancer, but I know, as we all do, different people that have cancer, and I try to refer them to people that are holistic when I can. So I'm just calling in to see, your brilliant advice if people have questions. So thank you for letting me join.
Yes, perfect.
Absolutely. Well, these calls are always a great first step for someone that is interested in learning what we have to teach or learning what we have to talk about. Anyone is, of course, always welcome to join these calls, whether they themselves are a patient or they just want to know the kind of things that we talk about. There's also a variety of other programs that we run, such as the YouTube videos, the blog posts, and if someone is really interested in self-educating, they can, of course, always take the course that we offer as well. So thank you for joining us and wanting to spread the word.
And maybe just note there, Zach, that we actually have 2 courses. One is for holistic cancer coaches. The other one is for the cancer helper.
Yep, patient caregiver.
It's all the same course. It's just different levels of it. Someone can take at their interest level. But I like to mention it as one so as to not confuse.
Yep. So, Jane, we were expecting some people that were referred by a coach. Were you referred here by a coach?
Yes, actually, Maya.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Love Maya.
Yeah.
I always hear Maya's comments on a call that we have, and she's so full of knowledge, and she helps clients that I hear. So I thought she's brilliant, so I wanted to listen in.
And we agree with you. She's not only brilliant, she's a wonderful member of our team. And actually, I'm surprised she's not on tonight. She usually is.
Yep.
She has a 99% chance of being on, but she could be just been running late. So we'll give her a few minutes.
Yep.
So,
okay.
But yes, Maya is often here as a resource for most patients. But actually, even the coaches ourselves find her a tremendous resource and support.
Yes. Yep. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
if I want to go use the restroom.
Yeah, she has a lot of depth and
What do I do?
Yeah. Hi, good to see you back, Craig.
I'll come back. What do you mean half an hour?
All right, I had to mute him. It happens.
There's Maya coming on now. Give her a moment. So Jane, Maya is signing on. So give her, it usually takes a minute or two.
Sure, and I don't have any specific questions right now, but I didn't know if you had other callers. I was interested just to hear, you know, what I could learn.
And we have anywhere from 10 to 20 people coming on, sometimes more. And many people do have questions, and which we like to hopefully give them an answer that'll be beneficial to them. But it's the team of our coaches and our advisors here, because Cara most certainly has been the founder with along with Sue Silverstein. I know it's really important for us to really acknowledge all the work they do in contributing to all the program and providing it for us. So it's wonderful. Thank you, Carl, as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just so that you know, Maya, you have a follower on today. Her name is Jane. And you made a recommendation that she come to the program, and she's online.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, Maya.
Hi. Hi, Jane.
Hi. Yeah,
Hi.
I was calling. I said you always have such great, full advice, like so much knowledge. So I thought I would love to just join in here if anyone had questions that I hear that could benefit anybody I know. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Sarah, you're taking the patient caregiver portion of the course, or the whole course?
Yeah, just now I'm also going to take the educator.
Oh, okay. You're moving up the next level. Okay, terrific.
Good.
I did have a question for the coaches, yeah, and that was, well, my husband, he's pretty good now. His tests look pretty good that he's able to compare with doctors, so we're very happy for him.
Aww.
And he's made a lot of progress, and he does seem to be able to stick to, healthier diet, and we're trying to limit desserts to only one small dessert a week and things like that. And so we are making changes and trying to be more positive. But the thing is, when he tries to talk to one of the doctors over at the place where he went, it was over in York, Pennsylvania. It was the Tulsa program, which is ultrasonic surgery for prostate. When he talks to them, they don't recognize his progress, and they don't ask him, well, are you eating a healthier diet and limiting sugar? There's nothing like that, and they don't give any compliments at all. It's just like, could you do another test for me? Could you do another test? I want you to do this test. Now it looks like there's one little spotty thing on your whatever test he did. And I guess after he had that phone call with the doctor, I just had a feeling that I was very happy for my husband, but I couldn't understand why this doctor wouldn't be happier for him, see. So what I was going to tell my husband was, I heard of an RGCC test. Have you heard anything about that?
Yep.
And it says that it's less invasive. I heard about it from the Gerson Institute. Does anybody know whether that's an easier test to check? Like if you want to check every 6 months just to make sure, anything like that. Do you know if that?
I think Maya has spoken to this before now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
RGCC test is I think it's a blood drawn test. They basically check for tumor markers in the blood, and even the ones that it doesn't pick up with PET scan or anything like that. It would just show if there's any floating cancer markers in the blood. So that's what I think. I think I'm not sure about the price point of the test,
Right.
and then based on that, then they help people to follow up on it.
Right.
So I don't think so. It's one of those cheap tests. I think it's costly. I'm not sure. I can I think it's around a couple of $1,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's expensive. Yeah.
It is expensive, yes.
Yeah. But the guide, if you do a guided MRI, that can be quite, for someone who doesn't really like medical tests like my husband, that's not exactly happiest test to do. He's tired of doctors and he's tired of all these tests. So that's why I was looking for alternatives. Okay, so I'll look into that. Yeah.
I think the best way is like checking his. What did you say, that he has a prostate cancer?
Yeah, he just had a small amount of prostate cancer. It wasn't that.
Okay. I would say that's enough to just be on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just checking his prostate and the levels of his prostate, and just following that, and just keeping the diet and changing lifestyle. I think that is enough. His cancer is not advanced.
His cancer's not advanced now.
No, that's my personal suggestion, like to spend a lot of money on doing, you know, a test like that.
Right.
Just be on the top of it. Just pay attention and always focus on the diet and the food that would balance his prostate, not exposing to the chemicals, and, you know, just the basic simple stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be anything major in terms of, like, you know, doing anything major, going for any like treatments. That's my personal, like, suggestion would be. Yeah. Especially if he doesn't have any signs right now.
Right.
Because for some doctors to do the test is like, it makes them money, you know.
They make money from it, right?
Yeah.
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 Because my dad had prostate cancer many years ago. All they did was give him some radioactive seeds, and then that was the end of it. And there was never any follow-up. Not like it is today, where they keep wanting to do testing and testing and testing all the time.
Yeah. I would say, like, adding to his diet stuff like, let's say, spirulina, seaweed, you know, sea moss, anything like that, that contains a source of iodine. And then adding to a diet source of selenium coming from, like, Brazil nuts, for example, and red meat. I mean, like, those are the things would help him to balance his hormones, especially when it comes to PSA. So PSA is similar to a breast cancer in a female. So you just have to balance the hormones.
Balance the hormones. Okay.
Yeah.
PSA was very low, so.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Tim has taken the holistic cancer course here with us, correct, Sarah?
No, Tim, I've offered him the classes if he wants to look at them, but I think he just doesn't want to do it right now. It's a little bit too much stress.
That's fine. Both Sarah and Tim looked into my mini series, and we did my little mini series, the healthy food choices, immunology and stress, and the psychology of cancer. So we did just the 3. And I know he really felt good about them, but and he is always going to have questions, especially when you're constantly going to the doctors and they keep asking questions and wanting to do more tests and more tests. And where do you find balance? You know, a lot of it is gut instinct.
Right.
And you understand in coaching with him, Sarah, that the important thing is for him to make a decisions on some of the treatments he's going to be managing, including those flaxseed muffins, right?
He did make flaxseed muffins.
Good. Yeah. And most certainly, just choosing some of those adaptive, healthy lifestyle changes that are going to make a difference for him. And he seemed so open, so receptive. It was refreshing, actually, and all the questions he asked while we were taking this class, and which is a really positive sign that he really is looking for alternatives. And you know, something that's new that's coming up and they're doing a lot of studies right now in the States, and that's on mistletoe therapy. And that's something that you might want to be taking a look. Zach, could you mention to Sarah, because she wasn't on last week, about when that course is, or when that program is on with Dr. Zubin?
Yeah, absolutely. That's coming up actually next Thursday. We're going to have a special session with Dr. Zubin Marolia out of India, and he is a specialist in mistletoe therapy in regards to cancer. And he is a doctor that has decades of experience in health and wellness overall, very renowned in India. And he is going to be doing a special session interview with us. That's going to happen at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. That's if you want to catch it live and ask him questions. He'll be fielding questions after he does a presentation. So you could tune in, and I can provide a Zoom link in the chat here. That'll be, again, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to translate that to whatever your local time zone is. If you're not able to catch the live session, though we do encourage you to make it if you can, you can catch the weekly session that we do here at this current time, this weekly call, and we're going to go over some of the things that we talk about and perhaps play the session for you in that weekly call as well. So that'll be next week.
Yeah, I'm actually encouraging my clients to participate on a live with Dr. Zubin and ask questions. I think it would be very beneficial.
Oh, definitely. He is a wealth of knowledge. It'll be very beneficial for anyone that participates.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm putting in the chat right now.
Sarah, I believe I sent you the email a download for our prostate cancer DVD or CD.
Oh, you did send it?
Well, if you didn't get it, I'll send it again.
Yeah, I don't remember getting it. No. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a note for myself right here.
And I'll make sure that you get that link to Thursday's program too for in the morning. Okay. Zach, when are you going to send out the link?
I just put it in the chat right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will include it in an email blast as well.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I see it. Yep. Oh, perfect. Lovely. Do you know what, Sarah? I'll send it to you right now. How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Zach, can you put in the link to the white paper, the Why as a Holistic Cancer Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to cover that, or would you like me to talk about it?
You could talk about it if you like a little bit, but I definitely like for Sarah to have it because it's important for her to understand how she might be able to talk with doctors.
Absolutely. So the document that I'm going to be adding to the chat right now is a nice document that Carl has created, and it covers the importance of a holistic cancer coach as part of the cancer support team for a patient. And it kind of helps talk about what the role of a cancer coach is in the event that someone is working with traditional oncology as well. And it's a very nice, thorough document. So if you check out the chat right now, it's a Google Doc link that's coming through.
No, thank you.
That sufficiently covers it. But we do have another guest that has joined us, and that is Linda Burns. Linda is someone that we met at the Annie Appleseed conference, actually. And she was
wonderful.
So if she has any questions, she could unmute herself, or Carl, if you're able to unmute her.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't get the video to work, but I have a question. There's differing ideas about glutathione. Is glutathione a bad thing to do if you have cancer? Then I hear other people say it's what you really need. So I think it's got to be connected with something with glutamate and one of those pathways that's not good. But do you have any thoughts on that, or do you have any information on that?
Well,
any of our coaches like to weigh in?
Well, glutathione is a very important antioxidant. My understanding is, the way I did some research on glutathione, it can actually cause some kind of damage. I wouldn't say damage. It can help cancer cells to grow during the chemotherapy. Like it's not going to help. My mistake. Cancer to grow. It would prevent chemotherapy to be effective as good if you would stay away from glutathione. Let's say it this way. Yeah. So what I personally suggest my clients to do fast, for example, 2 days before chemotherapy, the day of chemotherapy, and after, and a couple of days after chemotherapy, if they can handle it. If not, then a day, 3 days at least to fast. I mean, and not to take any supplements. And that way, the chemotherapy kind of have a better effect. It's like from a source of autophagy, like the basically body destroying like a sick cells itself when people fast, and plus chemotherapy. It's kind of like a dual effect. So, but in between therapy is it's okay to take it to boost their immune system back. And side effects, when people do something like that, side effect of chemotherapy is way less, and they don't experience a lot of nausea or discomfort or even pain. And believe it or not, with a couple of my clients, their blood counts, the white blood cells, did not go down a lot. And even red blood cells, I mean, everything was like not as low if they would have not, in opposed to not fasting. So, and when it comes to glutamine, so the glutamine is an amino acid that, basically in every food that we eat, but the downside of the glutamine, it can oxidize and feed cancer cells. So, and limiting like a food intake during cancer or chemotherapy, like having, let's say, instead of 3 meals a day, having 2 meals a day. So you will, downsize the intake of glutamine by a lot, or having a meal. There's actually, like for example, if you, usually animal products contain gluten, a higher level of glutamine, right, cutting down that and having one meal with the animal and the rest vegetables and not all the fruits because they still have a sugar levels, but more vegetables and maybe berries and stuff like that. So then people bring their glutamine levels more down. And of course, the stress, because the stress causes great oxidation. So the stress, like bringing the stress levels down, and not eating sweet stuff, not to create that basically fermented environment, because the process of fermentation that creates good environment for cancer. I hope that makes sense.
And
it did.
When you look at the glutathione, you have to remember that it's a combination of 3 amino acids. That's glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. Okay.
L-cysteine, yeah, L-cysteine and
yeah, and a good source of that is also broccoli. All right. But glutathione is really good with reducing oxidative stress, and it actually improves your insulin resistance as well, and also it contains a sulfur molecule.
Yeah, we need glutathione, but our body needs glutathione.
Yeah,
but it's just reducing during the chemotherapy. It's a wise thing to do. Yeah,
just to be careful.
Yeah.
So is that what you're saying, is that the glutathione would prevent the oxidation that you want with the chemotherapy, right? The chemotherapy is going to oxidize. That's what you want, right? So the glutathione would interfere, if I understood it correctly.
No. So what causes oxidation is blood sugar. So anything that spikes blood sugar would create environment for cancer to grow, because the body would go through, the excess sugar would oxidize in the body, and that's also going to help glutamine to oxidize. Okay? So you have to, people have to pay attention on their sugar intake. That's why going a no-carb diet is the best thing to do. But glutathione, we need glutathione as an amino acid, and we also need glutamine because our body cannot function without those 2 amino acids. what we can do is kind of bring the levels down, especially during the chemotherapy. And how you can do that by cutting down the food. Like fasting is a great thing to do. Okay? So if people can fast 5 days, it's great. Some people do even 10 days during chemotherapy. But if you cannot fast, at least 3 days would be the recommendation of fasting. Like a day before chemotherapy, the day of the chemotherapy, and the day after chemotherapy.
Got it.
Okay, so those are the things that are going to downsize the oxidative stress. And, the body is going to destroy weak and sick cells because of the process of autophagy on its own, and plus the chemotherapy. So the effect of chemotherapy stronger on destroying cancer cells.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I think we have Linda on. Is that Linda, the cancer coach, or is this new Linda?
So Linda is who just asked the question.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So Linda, yeah, if you have any other questions, by all means, you can ask them here as well, or we'll field some questions from someone else right now.
So yes, I have a question. I don't know if you do that or not. I just finished Shane McClellan's book, so I had a question about the coffee enema thing. Have you any experience with that, and how often, and how much? And
We promote that for sure. We actually talk about it in our course. I would say even if you're a healthy person, once a quarter is good.
How often, you said?
Once a quarter.
A quarter. Oh.
Yeah. For somebody who's healthy, I'd say it's good, especially if you have allergy issues. Around allergy season is a good time. Yeah, and you want to make sure that you get organic coffee, and if you can, find one that's low acid.
Yeah, if you go with the Gerson therapy, if you go with the Gerson therapy for people who have cancer, active cancer, like Gerson therapy suggests to do coffee enemas like a couple of times a day.
A day.
To eliminate as many toxins as possibly body could get eliminated. So what the coffee enema does is basically dilate the liver ducts and helps the toxins to come out easier. Heavy metals and toxins come out easier. But for people who does not have aggressive cancer, just like going through the process, it depends on the protocol where you are at. So the Max Gerson suggests to do it like once a day, sometimes once a week, once a month. It depends. So as a prophylactic, some people do it like once a week or once a quarter, like Carol said. It depends, like on the person. What's the level of their toxicity is.
If you're a new cancer patient, you will want to detoxify first before you start any of your holistic program. And so, that is juicing and water and then your coffee enema just for that clearing.
Yeah.
Right.
And certainly, I'm not sure exactly the Gerson therapy, but you're supposed to keep it in you a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, if you can hold it for 15 minutes, you're lucky.
That's very hard to do.
Don't know about that.
But I would highly suggest, and this is something I've heard from our counselor on staff, is that you do plain water just to clean out first, and then do the coffee enema that you're holding in there, because you don't want to hold it in there with all the fecal matter.
Oh, you're right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and the coffee enema have a different effect on the body than drinking a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that Winston one, the one on Amazon with caffeine in it or whatever. I have a second question. I don't know if Max Gerson talks about carrot juice, and he makes tons of carrot juice. I remember that from years ago. And then that's really high in sugar. So I don't understand the duality here. Do the carrots? Don't do the carrots? Sugar? No sugar? What are we doing here?
It's low glycemic, even though carrots are like sound sweet, but they are not. They do not spike. Somehow they do not spike the blood sugar, and
Really?
it's a big part of Gerson therapy. Yeah. But if you're worried about it, you can, for example, do it once a day and then add more green juices to that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But also remember that for a carrot, it's natural sugar, whereas sugar is refined. Okay, it's processed.
Yeah.
Whereas a carrot is not processed sugar. It's natural state.
And that makes a difference, we think, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it does. It does. So the sugar, carrots you can mix with celery, for example, or cucumber and any of those things. Like, if you're worried a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think, Maya, that if you blend them rather than juice them, the pulp or the fibrous content would also help with the insulin response not being spiked?
Correct.
Yeah. Some people do smoothies. Some people juice it. The whole point of juicing is just to give body nutrition as much as you can. It's basically like overloading with nutrition because that's what the body needs during cancer.
Yep. And you want to look at cellular nutrition, and the easiest way and the fastest way to get good sound cellular nutrition, besides anything IV, is to have juicing because it's your body loves it and will absorb it right away. So things like, as Maya said, Maya, by the way, has fantastic recipes on juicing, and some of the things she puts on the net are wonderful. And she has wonderful skills.
Who has that? Who has that?
Maya. You can follow her on all of our
her social medias.
Yep.
Or Maya, if you want to put them in the chat, so she could follow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, follow. Yeah, I recommend that you follow her because she has a wonderful nutritive program, and this is a wonderful resource for juicing.
That's great. So talking about juicing, thank you for bringing some of these questions up for me because I wondered. Kale, chard, spinach, oxalates. If you don't cook them, what do you think about that? If you put them in the juicing, they're oxalates. If I put them in my salad, which I throw them in there, they're oxalates, and supposedly that's not good. What are your opinions on that?
I just find them bitter and hard to eat. That's all. Swiss chard can be quite bitter, so that's why I eat spinach. But it's Maya, I don't see when you're having them naturally and you're not eating them in large quantities.
Well, oxalate is something, a lot of things does contain oxalate. The problem with oxalate people have when they're in our digestive system, there's certain bacteria breaks down oxalate. So when there's a problem with oxalate, you got to look more deeper into the digestive system and see what is the microbiome. Is it balanced or not balanced? So if that is affecting people, if oxalate is a problem, like people cannot break it down, I would say stay away from the sources like spinach. You can use spinach, but you have to steam it at least like 2 minutes, I believe so, to break down the oxalates.
2 minutes. Okay.
2 minutes.
Is that the same for kale? Does that work the same?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that has higher oxalate levels, you can steam it for a couple of minutes, and then it's going to break the oxalates. Yeah. And you can use it as a side with like as a steamed vegetables or as a side with salmon or anything like that. So yeah. So that was oxalate, but the oxalate became problem because of the microbiome, dysbiosis.
Do you recommend any special probiotic, prebiotic?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
but we don't tell you a brand, so we do recommend that you take pre and probiotics.
We do recommend you to take them, but particular which ones, it comes all to by individuality. Like I personally like checking people's running some tests to make sure what kind of problem they have, and then suggesting that way. It's very hard for me just to throw out there something you might not even need it.
Like a stool test, you mean that?
Stool test, yeah. And then the other way of increasing your microbiome is sauerkraut. It's a great source, for example. Yeah. You can do sauerkraut or any fermented like
kimchi, right?
Kimchi, right? Coconut yogurt.
Coconut yogurt, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never heard of that. They sell that at regular stores or at Whole Foods?
They sell them at the health stores. They do. Yeah.
Right. Great.
But real quick, I'd like to spin back to the juicing. It's important to have the right type of juicer too. You want to get a masticating juicer.
Yeah.
And that's like a Champion's been around for a bazillion years. Yeah. But if you get the centrifugal type, the type that spins, it'll break down the important probiotics and everything else in the foods from the heat.
How about a Vitamix? Any good?
Yeah.
A Vitamix is a blender. Yeah.
It's a great one.
It's a blender. It's a pain because then all this foam or whatever it is, I have to put it into some nut milk bag or something and squeeze it out to get the juice out of it. It's not it doesn't step.
Not a juicer.
Yeah. If you're using Vitamix, that's the way you can extract the juice by blending it, or you can just drink as a smoothie. It doesn't really matter. Yep. You get the fiber, and the fiber is good. Fiber is another thing that would help your microbiome to balance.
So you would do it with the fiber in it. It's not as pleasant, but okay.
Yeah,
whatever you feel like, whatever you're happy with, you have to just see what your body wants.
Right. It seems like a shame to throw it out, so I've been eating it afterwards with the spoon.
Right.
Yeah, you might have to add water to it if it's too thick to drink.
What about this Nama juicer?
Nama juicer? It's a good juicer.
Not so excited?
You don't like it?
I don't know. I don't have it. They keep telling me to get it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a good juicer. That's a good juicer.
But otherwise, do you like the Champion one? Anything else?
That was just one I could actually remember offhand.
Yeah, Champion is like, I probably would like a Champion better, but again, Champion is like, it's a lot of pre-prep work for Champion juicer, but when you use Nama, you can put the whole thing in there and it's just gonna...
Yeah, with juicers are something that you really get what you pay for a lot of the time. If you buy a really low-cost one, they come with a lot of... either difficulty assembling or cleaning, or, we got at one point, it was really funny actually, it was comical. We got just, the cheapest juicer we could find on Amazon, and we had to cut up the fruit so small to fit it in there that we may as well have just chopped it a couple more times and it would have been a juice. So,
yeah.
You're gonna, there's gonna be a trade-off on your user experience.
Yeah.
I use a masticating juicer, and you get your juice, but you also get all the entrails from all the fiber that come out. And I never use seeds when I'm putting stuff into the juicer, but and then I take all of that fiber and I put it into my muffins. And then into my porridge. And so there are things I can do which increases my fiber load.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I have
and
a
did you?
question.
I sorry. Are you okay with the Vitamix? Did you say you're okay with the Vitamix as a
Yep.
juicer? Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. Vitamix is good.
Yes,
Right.
646.
Hi, I have a question and a comment. With the oxalate, isn't that only concerning with people who have kidney problems?
No, oxalate is something that could damage not only kidneys. It could
Okay.
damage other organs too. Yeah.
Especially in your.
It's like if the body cannot process calcium. Together with calcium, they create like the stones. And and the stones could settle anywhere, whether it's like a gallbladder or even liver or even thyroid, stones or even kidneys. So, for people who have oxalated problems, it's better to be very cautious about it.
Yeah.
Okay, because, I love green stuff and spinach, and I usually eat it raw, and I don't think it had an effect on me, the oxalate. But my other comment I have is I was doing therapy, and I was told to fast before I do the therapy, which I did.
I'm sorry.
What kind of?
What kind of therapy? I'm sorry.
Chemotherapy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Always fast.
And I fasted one day, and I noticed the difference that the chemo didn't affect me at all. And I take wheatgrass when I fast sometimes, and one day I took a lot of wheatgrass, and I could fast. Usually can't fast more than one day, but I took a lot of wheatgrass. I noticed I fasted for 3 days, and I felt amazing. Like, oh wow.
Yeah. Wheatgrass is very good. It's a high in chlorophyll and high in so many different nutrients.
I tell people that I know who's going through chemotherapy to try to fast more than one day. You'll feel better, and they actually do. And they were like amazed. Oh, I feel really great. I said, I felt really great too. It seemed like I could go more, but I was scared to go more because I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, but I'll try it next time.
Yeah. I had wheatgrass growing in my living room and dining room, like trays over a tray over a tray when I was doing my cancer process. So I had a lot of wheatgrass, and I would juice every morning 4 ounces.
Matter of fact, I did a lot of research on wheatgrass because when I used to go to the store and buy it, I would feel nauseous half the time. So I couldn't take more than 1 ounce. So I did my research, and I found a company that sells frozen wheatgrass.
Mm-hmm.
So they said theirs was double the potency. And, I was asking a lot of questions. And I told them that, when I go to the juice bar, half the time I feel nauseous when I take the wheatgrass. They said, there's a reason why you feel nauseous. I'm like, why? And they said, because a lot of times they're growing in those trays where the roots are only grow 2 inches. And a lot of times they tend to overwater the wheatgrass where to create mold because the wheatgrass doesn't drain properly. I'm like, oh, wow, I know a lot of people that feel that way. So I ordered the frozen one, and it tasted better. It didn't taste sweet. So usually in the health food store, the wheatgrass tastes slightly sweet. But the frozen one I got didn't taste sweet. So I called them up. I'm like, yours doesn't taste sweet. And they said, because we let our wheatgrass get more mature where it grows 6 to 8 inches, where your body doesn't have to break down the sugar. It's already broken down.
Yeah.
So they were so impressed with me, they asked me to be a distributor, and I was shocked. I'm like, well, why? They said, because you told us some things no one had ever told us before, so we figured you would be a good rep.
What's the name of the company that you use? The company for the wheatgrass?
It's called Dynamic Greens. And, they had me as a distributor, so. And I'm asking, well, can anybody else be a distributor? And they said, no, we don't usually do individuals, but we were impressed with you. So I've been a distributor for about like 5 years, and I really love it, and I tell people my testimonial. I give them my information if they want to learn more about it, like my email. But it's very good, especially with cancer. Like I could not fast more than one day, and all of a sudden I did 3 days. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I said, I definitely want to fast because that's the key to recovery.
Yeah, there's a lot of smooth-talking MLM representatives that'll tell people things like that. Like, oh, yeah, we don't normally do this, but you'd be perfect for us. Or I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I didn't have to pay in it, but they just offered. So I've been selling it for 5 years, and I've been doing very well.
And I never thought about frozen at all. So that's kind of an interesting observation. And you know what? If you find that gives you, it works for you, stick with it.
Yes. Yeah, because I didn't like running to the store all the time, and then I would feel nauseous with the wheatgrass. I'm like, there's got to be a better way.
You're not the only one coming through with that kind of comment, so I'm not surprised. But that's kind of nice to know, though, that trying it frozen may be a little easier to tolerate on the microbiome itself. So thank you for that tip. That's nice to know.
Yeah, what was the name of the...
I have a question.
Dynamic Greens, right? And you can get it frozen?
Yes, that's one of the company, and they we said some things that nobody told us, so we like you to be a rep.
Hey, you're teaching us something today. That's kind of nice to know. I didn't know how to get it frozen.
And then like Whole Foods sell frozen wheatgrass. And I did research on that, but theirs is pasteurized, but it doesn't say it's pasteurized.
Yeah.
So the law says that if you sell it in a store frozen, it has to be pasteurized. So I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, so
probably
that worked out really great for me.
You got me on that one.
There's a lot of stuff that's...
Well, the marketing boards do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's pasteurized, so they don't have to put a special label on it that this baby has it to your house because it's not pasteurized.
Yeah.
Does anybody know about thyroid cancer?
And who's speaking?
That was Craig.
Craig from California.
Hi, Craig. Sorry about that. You know what? I haven't had a patient with thyroid cancer. Maya, have you had experience with thyroid? Oh, you're on mute.
So when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, at the same time I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer too.
Wow.
So, yeah. So thyroid cancer is, I don't know, it's very slow growing cancer. One of the slow growth cancers. Like doctors say, if you're getting a cancer, it's better to get thyroid cancer because it grows very slow. The thyroid cancer is it's one of those cancers that people develop based on environment, toxicity, and being exposed to so many chemicals and not having adequate nutrients that thyroid needs to function. So with thyroid cancer, you always have to look back and see what your surroundings are, what your environment is. So eliminating all the toxins coming into your life, based whether it's coming like by touching your skin or using a product that contains so many chemicals like shampoos, like the dishwashing, cleaning supplies, wearing synthetic clothes on your body, because when body sweats, apparently like those synthetics, chemicals, they get absorbed through the skin and they go straight to the bloodstream. So there's so much when it comes to endocrine disruptors, like glyphosate is one of the biggest ones, like BPA from plastic bottles, there's so much that affects thyroid, and so much cleaning needs to be done when it comes to thyroid. It's not only a diet. It's so many things because, and then you have to know. My suggestion would be talking to your doctor and doing like an in-depth thyroid test, like one of those. I'm sorry.
I had thyroid cancer and they took out my thyroid and I'm on levothyroxine.
Levothyroxine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you go through the same thing?
No, I didn't. I refused to get the surgery, so I still have my thyroid. And I was clean of the cancer within like 6 months, I believe so, from thyroid cancer. So it was like I wanted to focus more on the breast cancer because it was stage 3B than thyroid. That's what my doctor suggested then. And but then later when I learned more about thyroid, I just started balancing with nutrition and everything. And it wasn't detectable 6 months after, so they couldn't find anything. And they still cannot find anything, so I'm happy.
So it's not.
This is where your diet is critical.
Yeah. Your diet, your lifestyle is very critical when it comes to thyroid. So one thing I could say about thyroid, their doctors, integrative doctors, oncologists, they work with people whose thyroid has been removed, and they work with them in natural way. So my suggestion would be to find doctors like that who specialize in that.
Or a naturopath.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Where do you find them?
Are you looking for an integrative oncologist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
naturopath in your community.
There's sites that you can go to. One is Cancer Tutor. They vet all their doctors that they have on there. There's lots of integrative oncologists there. You can also go to Best Answers for Cancer. Mm-hmm. They're revamping their business now. They're getting set up again, but they would give out CMEs for doctors to attend their events, and they have many holistic oncologists that they know and are in touch with. So those are two good places. Also, too, before we end, is the wheatgrass guy still here? What's his name?
Yeah.
Yep, he's still there.
Yeah.
Craig, right?
No, that wasn't
Craig.
Craig.
Michael.
It was Michael.
Oh.
Michael, I just checked out the company. It's not. We get so many people that have MLMs and they want to try to sell something, and I just checked out the company. It looks very, very upstanding. Thank you for that resource.
What was the name of the company one more time?
It's Dynamic Greens.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody want any testimonials, I can give you my information if that's okay.
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
My phone number is 929 273-1481. And people I sell to, I get a lot of testimonials. They call me back and ask me questions, say what their doctor said, and the doctor said their blood work is phenomenal. Whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing what you're doing. And I tell people it's the blood that really heals your body. It's just that you need to get it really fast. Wheatgrass takes 1 minute to get in your blood. Some people feel it immediately, but your doctor can really say it. You don't even have to tell them anything. They'll tell you. So,
how many shots do you take a day? How many shots of wheatgrass do you do a day? How many ounces?
Everybody's different. When you have a condition, you should actually take more. Because one day I tested it out, and I usually take like 4 to 6 ounces sometimes, but one time I took 10. early in the morning, and I woke up in the middle of the night later that day. I'm like, I didn't even eat today. I ain't even had the urge to eat. So that's how potent it is. And then it's double the potency from the one you can get from the health food store. And it's, like I said, it's more mature. The roots grow longer. They actually grow it outside so it can, absorb more minerals. That's why it's double the potency than the ones you can find in the health food store. So I really believe, especially with people with cancer, I tell them, like, you got to try it. You got to try it. Your doctor's going to tell you something. Because if you have cancer, sometimes your blood is so bad, the doctors have, there's nothing more we can do, and they will stop the treatment. So you want to keep your blood good so you can handle the treatments. That's what I realized, because they would tell me different things. Oh, your blood work has always been good. We never have to stop the treatment. And, by me fasting, I don't get the side effects. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, I tell people, call me, I tell them my testimonial and tell them it's all about the blood. That's what the doctor look at when you go to them. They take your blood out. They look at it. They base everything on your blood. If your blood is really terrible, they will stop the treatment. Sometimes they won't even give you the treatment. So that's what I learned through my journey.
Wow. Thank you, Michael, for your input tonight. That is most encouraging for those who are looking at chemotherapy. Most certainly, it sounds like it's a great supplement.
Yes.
For someone to look at.
Well, we are up on the hour, so we're going to be closing out our call now. But if you have any questions that you didn't get to ask or were too shy to ask, please contact us at support@beatcancer.org. Not .com, it's .org, because we're a nonprofit. Support@beatcancer.org, and we'll get your questions answered privately, or we'll discuss them on the next call. So with that, thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you next week. It was a great call, lots of questions, lots of answers, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
I sent you the mistletoe. I sent you the mistletoe link, and Tim as well. All right?
Awesome.